But not the one day on the holiday weekend, that's when I was always there on the weekend.
Well, that was one of the side tours. Another one is the Smithsonian. We got to go behind the scenes.
They really,
That was really good. And into the labs where they analyzed meteorites. So I remember that. Got to actually had the special gloves on, so that you could handle the meteorites. That was probably the best. And then I think Minnesota was second best. One they had this year was okay.
that was in New Mexico.
No, that was this year was in Omaha.
Well,
It was close, so that's nice thing about that. Right, so
yeah, I was thinking Albuquerque, was that last year?
I think that was last year. Next year is gonna be Price, and I think that was pretty good. They're talking about having a tour, a special tour to Hawaii.
Some other time.
Some other time, not an hour time, maybe a mini hour time or something like that, because it's probably not too many people who do that.
Is that going to include Mauna Kea?
Pardon me?
Will that include Mauna Kea?
Well, that was my suggestion. If you're gonna go to Mauna Kea and get an inside tour of some telescopes.
I tried to do that, but they told me my rental car wouldn't have made it up the mountain.
It could have, I'm sure you could have, but they discourage you. And if you rent a car and they forbid you to do it, but you can. If you're careful.
In any case, I was already feeling the effects pretty badly just at the way station there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in hindsight, it turned out I was coming down with a bad cold.
Yeah, well, it is cold up there. It's 14,000 feet. And it snows pretty regularly up there.
No, I was coming down with a cold.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, temperature wise, it is cold and it's very thin air. That's what makes it good.
Yes. All right. So Mike's here and Byron.
Yeah, Dr. Byron.
We'll start in a couple of minutes. Ambrose spent the whole summer changing its operating system platform from Google based to Microsoft based.
Yep.
And
Microsoft 365.
365, yes. Yeah.
As
And
far as they found it to be financially acceptable.
we were already using Microsoft 365 for Word and Excel and all that.
So
So
really just switched over.
yes, yeah, email and cloud drives.
Yeah, at that rate, I think Microsoft practically throws that stuff in anyway. You're already doing the rest of it.
Yeah. And next steps, stop using WebEx and use Microsoft Teams for everything.
I like Teams better than WebEx.
I started using that with my virtual office hours, or I'm starting to try to use it. Feel my way through it,
I think that Teams is a little more flexible when it comes to setting up schedules and getting people in and out of meetings. And the chat functionality is a lot more forward than Cisco's offering.
I see.
There's a lot of other cool stuff. Teams is basically, it's a bunch of microservices around SharePoint.
Hmm.
Which is actually also true of OneDrive. OneDrive is actually SharePoint.
See. Hi, Cecil.
Greetings.
Okay, and see something that's.
It's a publication that the Astronomical puts out quarterly.
And when we put up.
You say about getting my website done right away.
Yeah, like spring.
The basic way to make it.
But you don't have to pay somebody, you just gotta pay for the materials, right? So we get the website up and running in a couple of years, we just download some content, throw it in there. You know, the release. Let's see, they got number 2, number 4. Wow, you release one every quarter.
Yeah,
Wow. I don't know if we're gonna get that much out there.
that's actually a pretty nice mix.
I would agree. Remind me of, it's like 19, how many are voice notes? Except for the adult content, right?
That's, well,
That's
there's,
that kind of thing.
there's kind of all kinds
That's the
of,
tension.
there's all kinds of content in there. There's something for everybody.
But that's why we have the calendars and all done.
Yeah.
Stellafane Convention. Springfield, Vermont. All right. Let's get this party started, as they used to say. I don't know, do they still say it? I don't follow slang trends. As a college professor, you quickly learn it's a wasted effort.
Parties usually are not hard to start.
Well, speaking of which, we'll start out with a review of the meteor shower party. So the weather did cooperate, like a few passing clouds. And according to our sign-in sheet, we got about around 4 dozen people from the general public. Not bad. So anyone's what was everyone else's impressions about the meteor shower party? Well, those of us who were there.
It's a lot of young people.
Quite a few. We always get quite a few children at the event, yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of feels like, oh, they're really too close to them, so.
You got to watch out for that, yeah.
It ended pretty early.
Yeah, but that's normal, right? Everybody wants to go home at like 10,
10, 11 o'clock.
just when things are starting to get good.
And I think we've seen one really good one, and then there's like a couple other ones. In Skyline.
It's too bad we couldn't actually do it on the weekend of the peak, yeah.
Oh, we were there the weekend of the peak. We were there, John was there. Byron was there, and it wasn't any better.
No.
I think Byron said, didn't we say, Byron, that the Friday before the party was like the best night?
Yeah, there was a lot more activity the week before.
Really? Yeah, I went out to Lost Grove Lake, the parking lot, about 2 or 3 in the morning, and only saw a couple of them. But then it got cloudy, so.
It's debated this year.
Yeah, they can be fickle.
The weather held up very nice.
That night, yes, yeah. I wish we thought to take more pictures of the event, though, more photos. Yeah. Paul Levesque emailed me asking for some for the PAC newsletter.
Scrape along the news stream.
But he did tell me we did make the 10 o'clock news on Channel 8. Yes.
Yeah, somebody said they saw me on TV. I didn't even realize it.
Oh, yeah, we
So on the topic of, there weren't many meteors visible or seen that night. Byron said the week before, it seemed like there were more. I know the PAC had their annual picnic the week after. Did you see many meteors then?
I don't know, I wasn't there, we were on
Okay.
vacation that week, we were out west.
Okay.
And I don't know, I think theoretically the peak was pretty close to when we had the picnic, but
Yeah.
that was like a quarter moon, so the sky was a little brighter.
Yeah, and since, you kind of look to the north and overhead, and that location isn't the best for that, so. Okay.
but at least Saturn rose around sometime between 10 and 10:30, so a lot of people got to see that.
Yeah, Saturn's pretty interesting right now too. The rings are almost not visible as rings anymore.
Next year they will be edge on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Oh. All right. So next event is the first weekend of our Eastern Iowa Star Party. That's on Labor Day weekend. So as far as I know, nothing's changed. We're still a go for it. We need to work out specifically who's going to bring what supplies, food, ice, and such. Speaking of which, some of us went out to the observatory between our last board meeting and now, I believe. And so how does the observatory look for the
I think it's looking good. I vacuumed the floor in the new roll-off roof, shop vac it, and Steve went out there today, I believe, and trimmed all the grass around the buildings. And I brought about $50 worth of munchies out there last week, put it in the cooler, and I think Jim said he was gonna bring some ice.
Yeah, I'll pick up some water, soda, and a limited amount of ice.
okay? What about napkins and such? Did anybody think to check if there was still some at the observatory left over from previous events?
There were paper cups out there, and there's utensils out there, plastic utensils. I'm not sure about, well, there's paper towels in the restroom, like, isn't there?
Yeah, but would there be enough for munchies and stuff and enough for people using the bathroom?
I would think so, but I can bring a roll of paper towels out there just in case.
Okay, so John and Ashley can bring some.
So I think we have a coffee pot out there, so we have the ability to make coffee. Do we want coffee, hot chocolate? Or is water and soda adequate?
I was trying to remember if I saw some leftover hot chocolate packets
There are,
last time I was out there.
they were in two different places. Steve and I threw away the ones that were like 3 or 4 years old.
A decade old, we talking about.
Decade, yeah, they were all. Well, there's still some in there from, I think, last year, and they're good. I've been drinking them in the middle of the night sometimes.
Okay. What else are we gonna need out there? Anything I'm not thinking of right now?
Just the signs.
They should still be in the storeroom, right?
Someone needs to put those up.
Oops. Flatware.
He said there's plastic silverware out there
and cup.
Yes.
and cups, yes.
Plates, bowls.
Plates and bowls. What about that?
Okay, we can get some of those.
Okay, great.
All right.
How many people are going out? They have an idea.
Yeah, what's our crowd size required?
Let's see. I've been keeping a running tab of email responses. Let's see what I got so far. Let's see. Craig Cox is coming out the Labor Day weekend, and so are Libby and Carl Snipes from one of the other.
Southeast
From Southeast Iowa, yes, yes, yep.
They're good.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We need to go down there for the observing session sometime.
Okay, so Craig Cox and the Snipes, they're just coming the August Star Party weekend.
Try to go now periodically. We don't have to go every year, but every year at least we try to go.
And then I've got Al, Chris and Ashley, Byron and Mike. They replied that they're coming both weekends. So
I'll be able to make it out this weekend. I won't be able to make it out the second weekend.
the August, okay,
Does that start on Friday or Saturday?
both. 30th and 31st.
Okay.
Are you gonna need electricity?
Well, if I do, I'll get it from one of the outlets out there.
Okay. So with you, that makes 9 people so far for August.
I mean, what we got 3 posts.
John and Byron are the only ones who definitely said they need power.
We're gonna bring powers.
There's about 4 outlets on the new roll-off roof, so that adds to those other. So,
Well, I mean, if there's an outlet, I'll use it, but I don't need it. I can bring battery and on myself.
I was just wondering if we need to bring some extent. I think we got 3 or 4 50-foot plus extension cords. If we need reroute some power.
Let's see, because they're the outlets on the new roll-off building, and then the 3 cement pads each have power. And then I don't know how many are on the outside of the classroom. Really?
So we're probably.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing like a crock pot or just like hamburger meat and doing like made rights. If anybody thinks that's a good idea, because then you just keep the crock pot closed and you can eat over anytime you want to do that.
that's great.
Yeah.
You need a contribution for.
Can you repeat that? We can't hear that in the Zoom realm.
She's gonna bring a crock pot with loose meat for sandwiches.
Oh, okay, cool.
You wanna bring maybe some cheese? Can you do cheese?
Yeah, what kind of cheese?
5 was singles, right?
Whatever looks good. Not picky, as long as it's not blue cheese, I think we're all good.
Limburger cheese, something like that. I mean, I eat blue cheese.
I love blue cheese.
Do you need somebody to bring buns or, well, I was really gonna try to solicit somebody else, but.
I already wrote buns down on my notes for me, but.
Yeah, I remember bringing some cheese.
And we have a small refrigerator out there as well as a cooler. So. Okay. Sounds like plans are coming together, which is good.
I'll also still be making the homemade cheesecake.
All right.
We're all looking forward to that. Okay. And then the second weekend for Eastern Iowa is September 27th to 28th. So obviously have more time to see how many people sign up for that. Although I keep forgetting, what's the name of that other star party that's happening that same weekend?
Okay, Tech,
Okie Tech, yes.
but they also be the one. Well, it should be the most are fun.
No, that's October. October, 3rd through 5th, I think, something like that.
But what are the dates for the second?
September 27th and 28th. Yeah.
And there's also an Iowa Star Party. Not Eastern Iowa, but I think it's just called Iowa Star Party. That's out west of Des Moines. That's
Garth Farm or something like that.
something like that. That's also October 3rd through 5th, something like that. So I think you're okay.
Should be, okay. And in between that, we have a public night at Menke on September 7th. So I'll be out there, of course, and just, okay. Okay. Any questions on upcoming events? Okay, so we covered something of the condition of the observatory at present to get it ready for Eastern Iowa. So Steve, that said you had gone out there and done some trimming.
Yeah, I haven't been out there in a while, and I went out there a couple days ago. And I was looking for something, and I could not get into the dome. It's because of the all the weeds and tall grass that have grown up all the way around there, and it doesn't look like that they do any trimming whatsoever. Or if they did it a long time ago, and then they haven't done it since. So I took just a weed eater and just weed eated around all the way around the dome. Then I cleaned up both pads. There's just the two concrete pads. And then in the new roll-off building that there's a lot going on there. It looks like we had one piece of trim fall off at the during one of the storms. So that's one of the pads I cleaned up. And that looks pretty good.
Looks good.
Here's the other one.
And there's the other one. So that one looks pretty good.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then
This is, yeah, so you can see that the weeds, just grow up around it, and you can see around the door there aren't any weeds, but it's because I've had to just kind of stomp them with my foot, and just to get the door open. And you're thinking like, oh, it's just a bunch of weeds. No, there's some pretty thick stems there, and I had to kind of fight with that just to get it open and get it closed. So I don't have another photograph, but I did clean all that up all the way around pretty much. So that looks a lot better. And then this is obviously a mess, and it looks like that their equipment can't go through the concrete supports there. And this is not a job for a weed eater. I mean, I burned up 3 batteries just out there today, and it doesn't even look like a job for a lawnmower. It looks like a job for a rock pile. So nothing grows there. So we don't have to. So they don't have to worry about it. And we don't have to worry. Concrete, asphalt, rocks, whatever. That way, it's just yeah, it's pretty thick there, and just a weed eater is not going to go through there. Even if you had like a gas powered weed eater, which I don't, I just have like a battery powered one. But it's just in here, obviously, the grass is so thick and it's so tall that it just lays on it's not even strong enough to support its own weight now. So I'm just laying down. So it's you're talking about grass that's a foot tall or better. And if we had a lawnmower, that'd be one way to fix it. But So that's what I'm saying is I think the long-term fix there is to find some rock or asphalt or concrete or a lot of Roundup.
They say that if you take Roundup, put some of that down and get some black plastic or visqueen, and you stake that down and the weeds won't get sun once you get it knocked down, that it'll kill it all and it'll be dirt eventually, but problem mulch would be good, but you gotta do it often and weeds still come up through
Yeah.
rock. But if you got it down and you had an old mower that was just good enough for that patch and leave it in the building, before it gets too long, twice a month, you could, once you got it mowed, you could keep it knocked down too.
Yeah, it just looks terrible. I mean, it's not like anybody sets up in that area underneath the roll off, but it doesn't look like anybody from our group is doing anything with it. It doesn't look like they're doing anything with it. I think we're both looking at each other, saying we're expecting them to do it, and I think they're expecting us to do it. So
I think you're right, Steve, and the fact that they don't have a mower that goes back in there, they got all big mowers and I don't know.
okay, so that's that, and then there's this piece. It looks like I mean, we've had some storms go through here this summer, and it looks like we're missing a piece. And then the bees will, there's a fairly good sized bee's nest in the corner next to the control panel for the roll off roof. And the bees will go up underneath that flash trimming there. And I don't know if that's how they're getting in. But
That piece is in the building on the floor on the back end there.
at least we still got it.
Or maybe it's on the rafters. Jim, I don't remember, Jim. Did we put that up in the rafters or? Yeah, we put it up in the rafters, I think.
Okay.
You
All right,
talking
so
about the extra piece or the piece that blew off?
The piece that blew off? Or
It's
was that
not-
an extra piece we put up there?
Not bent or anything from getting torn up off from the storm.
I don't think so, no.
I got aluminum nails. You should use aluminum nails if you nail that back on there.
Okay.
So we still have that piece and we can just
Yeah.
have to put it back up. Okay.
My suggestion, and I talked to Jim about this a while back, is since that floor and since Byron and I and Ashley and Chris and John was out there a couple weeks ago on a Saturday night, it does look nice and cleaned up inside and orderly. And as I told Jim, to sweep that floor, it'd be nice if you got probably 3 gallons, I don't know, I'm just guessing, 1/2 inch nap roller, and go to Menards and get that like semi-gloss clear sealer, put that down and make it a lot easier to sweep the floor, and it'd also keep the dust down. And Ashley mentioned, because I had talked about it, that it'd be a lot easier if you had those come along tie downs in the 4 corners and bore a hole with a hammer drill 1/2 inch into the bottom of the foundation close to the floor, and then you just have to clamp it on a hook on the roof and then down to the floor and tighten it up a lot easier than those ratchet straps. So everything's really looks pretty good out there, but that wouldn't be a lot of expense. Probably trying to save money now that we're used up some of it, but I think it would make it more presentable, and nobody's gonna have any problems with the ratchet strapping it back down. Be easier to sweep and keep the dust down, and I don't think it'd be all that expensive. You don't want to go to Stetson's or Gerke Robertson. Those 5-gallon pails of their sealer, really expensive, and I don't think you need to buy a 5-gallon pail of that. I think 3 gallons or so from Menards would work great with a 1/2 inch nap roller brush to cut the perimeter into the floor. And if you didn't get it all done or had somebody there, also if there's any clay stains, it'd be nice to wipe that up, because once you seal over it, you're not going to get it off. But if you got it down to where it was just nice concrete and sealed it, it would look really nice. And I think that would be another step closer to good upkeep on the building.
Thoughts, comments?
Well, if somebody's got a gas weed eater, you can go to Menards or Lowe's and get a steel blade to put on. That'll take that stuff down. I don't have one.
And we had a thing like that.
And I just thought about it. I think I have an old gas one out in my garage that I'm not using anymore. I could probably take that out there.
I've seen those steel blades.
Yeah, they're making them plastic now too.
Yeah, but I think if there's real thick stuff, a steel blade should whack right through it.
You can cut small trees with those.
Yeah. I've got my battery operated too, so mine won't handle anything like that.
Okay, so we'll see what we can do with that. At our last board meeting, we brought up possibly making a list of gear that the club has that we could offer as loaners to other club members or visitors. So, maybe that's something we could work on during off times of the Eastern Iowa. Have to get together at some point, discuss what kind of gear we have and what is usable as loaners. And of course, over the summer, we had all that donated stuff that was.
We should have given that all out to visitors.
Yeah, we decided most of it was. I can't think of a polite word for it, but
So,
that works.
Yeah, I didn't think that we had any loaner type equipment. Other than maybe a few eyepieces or something.
There's a couple of telescopes in the building, right?
Well, in addition to what's in the building, the club owns a 10-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain optical tube assembly that we've had for quite a while. About a year ago, it was donated an 8-inch Schmidt-Cassegrain. The mount didn't work, but I think Matt Nielsen cleaned up the optical tube and reported that that was usable. And then there was also an ETX, a 90mm ETX, and I don't know if the mount was working on that one either. So if we just kind of, found out what's the status of those things, and if any of them are usable, let club members know about it so they can borrow them.
And again, we can have a more thorough discussion of this at Eastern Iowa when we're all together again. All right. And I'm also thinking that I should conduct some training on the 14-inch scope in the main dome, because right now me and Jeff are the only ones who really know how to use it, and we should pass that along to other people. So, long story short, I'll look at my own calendar, see when's like a best time for me to make myself available for that, and then I'll reach out to the rest of the club and do so. All right, real quick, anyone bought any new gear recently?
I mean, there's really one piece or two pieces that's important.
So we picked up Cecil's CGM mount. Then subsequently bricked the motor control board. Then bought another motor control board, which is now working. It is, yeah, we got it together Friday.
Good.
Cecil also had a couple of monochrome camera and a color camera, a little older. After doing a little bit of imaging with the color one, we decided this spring for a newer color camera. We got the ASI 585 MC Pro, which is a cool, it's like a middle of the road camera. Anybody knows their line, like it's fast enough to do some planetary stuff and it's got a cooler on it. It's supposed to be relatively, low noise, so it should be pretty decent for deep space stuff too. Also got a, what was that, 90mm refractor in the kit that we got from Cecil, which has been working pretty good as a guide scope. And then what else? Oh yeah, we picked up an electronic focuser from Celestron to fit the SCT that we have. My what? Oh yeah, we also got a Hyperstar.
You'll be able to build your own observatory.
John helped us poke around with it a little bit at the asteroid party. We got to start seeing some stuff there. And then he also volunteered some time at the actual peak of the meteor shower, and that was when I bricked the motor control board. So, and then this last weekend, of course, it hasn't been very good. So the weather's been pretty cloudy. So we didn't do anything this last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, what did we get? I guess I reused the computer I already had.
This is just.
Nice. Anyone else? Gear for sale. Well, we already know what Cecil sold recently.
I still have a 100mm f9 Apple refractor. What?
What millimeter you said?
The 100 f9 Apple.
Anyone interested? Contact Cecil. Anyone else? Well, then let's move on to our feature presentation for this month. Al Sheidler is going to talk to us about the Astronomical League. So, Al, take it away.
Okay, yeah, I guess, I don't know who put me up for this. I think Jim, you were the one that wanted me to talk about the Astronomical League a little bit for you folks here.
Yeah, just, I guess, as a little bit of an introduction, you and I were talking about the fact that the Quad City Astronomical Society was a member of the Astronomical League going back a number of years ago and had been for many years. And we were just talking about some of the things the Astronomical League does, and I was asking Al a few questions and just said, hey, this sounds like a good topic for a presentation. To just talk to the group. We've got a lot of members maybe that hadn't been in the Astronomical League before, so it's a good chance to let them hear about what it can do and remind maybe past members. And so Al, I think, is the president of one of the regional leagues, or league might not be.
Yeah,
groups. You'll get into describing that.
Okay. And I don't want to toot my horn too much here.
But you are an officer president.
Yes.
Of one of the groups, right?
Yes.
Okay, so with that.
So anyway,
Happy to have a member of our club that's intimately involved with the astronomical.
I'm more involved than I want to be. It does keep me hopping. But it does afford me some opportunities like coming to talk to you. I've been in the process of talking to other clubs in our region. And I've managed to persuade a couple to join. It would really make me happy to see QCAS get back in to the AL as well. But I don't want to oversell it too much. This is a presentation I whipped together real quick, and I put the Popular Astronomy Club logo on there, but I kind of ran out of time. I wanted to put the QCAS logo on there. But I didn't want, like I said, I didn't want to jump the gun here too much. But Astronomical League, we are in the north central region of the Astronomical League, which is comprised of the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Upper Michigan. So it's a huge area. And that's the region that we're in right here. So it's one of course I'm biased, but it's one of the best regions in the Astronomical League for a lot of reasons. It's a very active region. It's one of the few regions that actually has meetings of conferences of the group where we get together as a region and have conferences once a year. MSRAL, Mid-States region of the Astronomical League does that too. As far as I know, I don't know about the other regions nearby, whether they're really doing it much or not. I think they use star parties kind of as their central point of meetings. And what we do in the north central region and what they do in the mid-states region is they kind of rotate around to different locations every year. So anyway, I'm just gonna jump into this here a little bit. There are about 23,000, actually I think it's more than that now, I think it's approaching 25,000 members worldwide in the Astronomical League. By members, that's individuals like sitting around the table here. There's more than 310 societies. So Popular Astronomy Club is one of those. QCAS used to be one. The region has celebrated its 75th anniversary. I don't remember what year that was. It might have been last year. Or several years ago.
2021. It that says 1946.
Okay, yeah, okay. So it's almost 80 years old now. Here's a map showing the regions. And you can see the north central region, we're central. In the north, mid-states is just below us, and that includes part of Oklahoma, but you know, Missouri, Nebraska. What are the states there? Now you can see, but then down here you got Texas, New Mexico, and part of Oklahoma. There's the Mars region, and there's the Northwest region, which includes Alaska. So I guess physically Alaska is probably the biggest, but
yeah, through the rejection, I mean, Alaska is like bigger than the rest of it.
yeah, Alaska's the the biggest state. But you could split it in half and it would still be number one and number two.
Right.
Anyway, there are now getting to be some clubs outside of the United States. So it is becoming a worldwide organization. The Astronomical League is becoming a worldwide organization. There's 11 regions, I think, if you count them up. So benefits of the Astronomical League, basically that's just a list of bullet points of advantages or benefits. I would have to say this. I got to be really honest. There are very, very few benefits to being a member of the Astronomical League. If you want to be a member of the Astronomical League, really what it is a self-improvement methodology. It's a way of improving your members, education, helping with public outreach. We have awards that are given for people that observe objects. There's observation programs that are out there. There's probably 60 or 70 observing programs. I'm working on a couple of them right now. They're very good, but it takes a lot of time and effort, and you have to do the observing, you have to keep the notes, and you have to send in your observations. I've not seen any of mine ever get rejected, but you have to do it. Outreach awards, you have to keep track of that. If you're going to be given an award, you have to do it, keep track of it, send in your logs. There are higher level awards, and the one that is really good is the Mabel Stearns Award. That's for newsletter. If you publish a newsletter, you mentioned Paul Levesque. Paul Levesque has submitted his newsletter twice now. He has not won the Mabel Stearns Award. But it is very difficult to, because you're going out there against 310 other clubs. Terry Dufek right there won the Mabel Stearns Award in 2017, so he had an outstanding newsletter. If you want to see that award, we have it in the pack. It's really something to get that award, because like I say, it's going out against all the other newsletters that are out there. There's a library telescope program. You can see right here, there's a library telescope. Popular Astronomy Club has acquired 2 library telescopes. There's a lottery every year that the Astronomical League has. Again, you have to submit your application, but if you throw your name in the hat, there's a chance it'll be drawn, and Popular Astronomy Club has had their name drawn twice now. We have 2. We have one at Eldridge Library, and we have one at Orion Library. So they have one on either side of the river. And that's really a great program. I know Eldridge, theirs is always checked out all the time. Of course, it gets broke and we have to fix it, but there are scholarships out there available for young people. You can see this young lady here is her name is Katie Melbourne. She used to be a PAC member. Now this was in Washington D.C. This is the shirt for Washington D.C. That was the outcome we had there in 2016. She won the Horkheimer award, and that's a scholarship, and she used that money to help fund her education at Yale. And now she's a big wheel, but she was at NASA and she went to Ball Aerospace. And now she's working on a PhD from University of Colorado. So she's done something with the funding that we got. But again, I say that's not something that you just get. You have to apply, and the student has to be vetted against other applicants, and not everybody that applies wins. Of course, you can't win if you don't apply, but then we do have, like I say, regional conventions every year. We have a convention. I'll talk about that shortly. And then Alcon, which is the region, not the region, but the entire country. And then the Reflector magazine, you see that right there. That is what you get for your $6 as a member of that's your as an individual member. If your club is a member society of the Astronomical League, which I think is $10 for QCAS to be a member. And then each of us can be a member for $6. So that's what you get for $6. That's about all you're gonna get though, unless you do some of these other things. That's what I'm saying.
Stop selling us so hard.
I don't want to oversell this. I don't want to oversell this. There's a lot of clubs that are not members of the AL because they see no benefit to it.
10 and $6 per what?
Per individual.
Oh, per month, per year, per year.
Yeah, it's inexpensive.
So this is 50 cents. That's a steal.
Well, no, there's 4 of those.
8 cents per year.
Yeah,
So
4 of those. And you don't have to be a member to get that. It's online. You can get a PDF copy online. So like I say,
Stop selling us so hard.
you're not getting anything. It's self-improvement. This is the thing that, if QCAS wants to do team building and build themselves up, educate themselves, pursue observing programs, get awards for members for things that they do, their accomplishments. Want to apply for scholarships, get students enthused about astronomy. Enhance your public outreach, things like that. That's what it's for. That's what it's for. I've got a lot of slides here. I probably should maybe go through. This is the North Central region. We have a bunch of things here. I'll just go through quick. It doesn't cost anything. If you're an AL member, you're automatically a member of the region that you're in. So you'd be in this region. We also have observing awards, and I like these because they're real easy. All you gotta do is check them off. Do the observing, check them off, and then turn it in. There's a speakers bureau, so if you want people to come and talk, I've got a whole list of speakers out there online you can go check out, and they're available in we talks. We also have awards. We have a newsletter editor, regional newsletter editor award. And we also have a region award for our region, which would be like astronomer of the year, I think for our whole region. And then there are grants. We call them mini grants because they're $250. But you know, if you want to submit an application for a grant, some years the grants go unapplied just because nobody submitted. I'd say there, if you want $250, go buy a weed whacker or something. Or a lawnmower, I bet that would win. Regional convention, I mentioned. We have also a regional newsletter, which is really a nice document. It comes out every quarter, and we have what we call a blotter, which is something that comes out every month and just says it's like 1 or 2 sheets, not more than that, just bullets. So here's star parties that are occurring, or something interesting like T Coronae Borealis that is going to explode any day now. And there's an observing program in KL for that as well. Things like that get mentioned as bullet points. And then we have guides out there too, if you want to learn about, you know, how to set up your club, how to conduct a conference, how to do, you know, various things clubs do.
So that sounds like a good resource as far as if someone wanted to start a club. If somebody wanted to take an existing club and improve it,
Right.
if somebody wanted to start having a star party or put on a convention.
Exactly.
Or improve their website.
Yeah.
There might even be some resources there.
There's a whole bunch of websites in our region. I think virtually every club that's a member, I could be wrong in this, but I think most of the clubs in our region have pretty decent websites. Some of them are outstanding. And I think there's a webmaster award out there too for Astronomical, which is, there you go. If you're going to build a website, I would say submit your website for an award. You can't win if you don't apply.
I was gonna say the same thing about the lottery.
This was our North Central region of the Astronomical League convention we had in 2019. We were at the what's the name of the place in Moline there?
Yeah, you can see the column building.
Yeah. I forget the name of the convention center we were at, but we had like 125 people come to that. You can see them all there. It was really neat. There's our mobile observatory. So here's the people, you know, you mentioned, yeah, I'm the chairman. Bill Davidson is from the Rochester Astronomical Club. Roy Gustafson is our secretary treasurer. He's from Popular Astronomy Club. John Atwell is from the Rochester Club also. Carl Wenning is our newsletter editor. He was the chairman before me. And Jeff Setzer is from Northern Cross Science Foundation. He's our webmaster. Well, I'm not gonna go through that list, but that's all the clubs. And actually, there's a new one that's not on there, but there's 35 clubs in our region that are members.
I see some are labeled full and some partial. What does that mean?
Well, okay, so most of them you see are full members, which means all the club members of that club are also members.
Mhm.
And you can be a partial member too, if like, for example, I probably would not wanna be a member of the Astronomical League through QCAS because I'm already a member at PAC. So I don't wanna pay $6 twice.
I will just raise the dues and if they roll it.
Yeah,
Well, but I mean, not everybody wants or needs to be a member in a club, but it's nice to have a club be there. Having the Astronomical League logo on your, promotional things adds a certain gravitas. Yeah, I like that word. Credibility, or I don't know what you want to call it. You can at least say we're members of the Astronomical League. And then it lends a little bit of credibility to public events, Right.
Mhm.
But yeah,
It's like
there's
being-
partial members and there's full members. If all of them were full members, we'd have even more. Here's how it breaks down. I know you guys are probably interested here. Iowa has 5 clubs. Illinois has 14. Upper Michigan has 1. Minnesota has 3, I guess. Wisconsin has 11. North and South Dakota have 0, but there are, when you look at this slide over here, these are individuals that are members, and there are some at-large members. So if you want to, if you can't convince your club to be a member, you can still join as an at-large. The fees are higher for that, but there are quite a number of, I think there's about 50 at-large members in our region that just aren't members because they want to be, and they don't have a club in the lot there. They couldn't convince their club to be a member. So that's the numbers in our region. We have like 2,300 people that are members of the AL within our region. And we talked about the reflector. The reflector is this nice magazine. You can sit down in one evening and read it through. It's not too bad. There are articles in there about the science associated with observing or astronomy. There's member imaging, construction, news, member activity. So people that earn awards, for example, their names will be in there and get all excited to see their names. This was a convention in 1965. I don't know why I got that picture. I think I stole it from somebody else's presentation. These are the conventions right now. Alcon this year was in Kansas City. Next year is going to be Bryce Canyon. And if you've not been to a dark sky, a really dark sky site, I would urge you to go out there. It's incredible.
When do they usually do the convention?
That'll be probably June. I can find the date, or you can probably Google it and get it. I just turned in my application or my registration for it, so I haven't gotten confirmation yet, but it is open, and I urge you, if you're thinking about it and I want to do it, go ahead and do it. You don't have to be an annual member to do it. Anybody can go to a convention. Once you do, then you'll probably realize we need to join the Anyway, Cincinnati, Colorado Springs, Florida is another one. They're planned out that far. North Central region this year was in Meteor, Wisconsin, which is Green Bay. And next year is going to be Minneapolis. We don't have a club that is hosting. So this is one of the things that's keeping me busy right now. I have a committee of people from around the region that's helping to organize the convention, but we decided we're gonna do it in Minneapolis. So I don't know where yet exactly, and there's lots left to be done yet, but that's the plan. And there's another opportunity. It's not too far. You can easily drive to Minneapolis. 2026 is going to be Cedar Rapids. Cedar Amateur Astronomers. They're one of the premier observatories in our region. They're very fine. I've never been out there. It's excellent. Excellent place. And we're thinking about Uranus. If you haven't had a good conference there in 27, but that's still in the development. Mid-States region, they have really good conferences. I try to go to theirs. This year's was in Omaha. Next year's going to be Little Rock. Those are always good. Observing programs, that's just one of the pins, but this is probably not a complete list, but there's 60 or 70 observing programs. So pick what you want. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can observe, constellations, there's double stars, open clusters, globular clusters, galaxies. There's a Herschel 400, which has 400 objects. That's one that I started working on, and I don't know if I'm gonna get that one done, but then there's I think there's a lunar observing, there's a solar observing program. And when you complete it, you get a pin and you get a certificate that you can mount on your pretty above your mantle. Or you can put it in the desk. Anyway. And outreach, there's an outreach award, which has different levels as well. So all you have to do is host 5 events. And 2 hours each. People that thought 5 events get this award. And if you do more than that, you can reach higher levels. And here's some of the youth awards. National Young Astronomer Award. These people actually get a telescope from Explore Scientific. And you know, they get pretty excited, you know. I'd like to get on those too. I think so. Some of these students, the presentations that they make, I don't understand what they're talking about. It is so high level. You know, some of the accomplishments that they've done into double stars and, you know, things like that. But they're funded to travel wherever the conference is, and they get the award. Horkheimer, you know, you've heard of Jack Horkheimer. That's who started this award. Horkheimer, I don't know who Parker was, but there's imaging awards.
Yeah, I think that's Dr. Parker from Miami.
Okay, that could be, yeah. There's a journalism award. Mabel Stearns Award, that's a really nice one. That's one of the premier awards that they have. There's also what they call global star parties, you know, so if you like to listen to invited speakers, Scott Roberts, he's Sports Scientific. He's always there, and then you know, we'll have different speakers come on. Actually, I don't know if you have to be a male member to join those either. You can probably do everything that you know about. That's the thing. If you're a member, you get ticklers, you know, emails and stuff about this. Library telescope, we talked about that already. Keep looking up. I don't know if you have any questions, I mean, I probably already talked longer than I should have. But,
We're always looking for people to know. It was very informative.
Go out and look at the Astronomical League website. There's a lot out there, there's all the observing programs are out there. Show you that here. If I've got time, how much time have we got?
It's just past 8 o'clock.
So in other words, we've got time, all right.
Yeah, he's ready. What else is on the agenda by standards? We got about an hour here.
Treasurer, and then we're gonna talk about board nominations and website reading.
Okay, I'll show you this real briefly here. This is the Astronomical League website. Actually, I might get this out of the way here. What the heck? Why is that? Okay, there we go. So if you want to know about the Astronomical League, here's various links. And I showed you some of the stuff already, but if you want to dig into bylaws and stuff like that, you can do that too. If you want to go to sleep, read the bylaws. Issues of the reflectors. So if you want to look at the Reflector magazine, anybody can get into this. Click on that. And here's your there's your Reflector magazine right there. I prefer having a paper copy, though. I don't have to stare at a screen, drive my eyesight crazy. But there it is. I mean, you can get into it. Like I say, if you're not interested in the programs, you can just get into this stuff on your own.
I see that in there, it says it was advertised in the Okie Tech Star Party.
Yeah. So you want me to, I'll tell you this, join the AL and Will advertise the heck out of your Eastern Iowa Star Party.
Yeah, I got so many plans for next year.
I will go to bat for you. I can't do the work. I'm too busy, right?
No, I guess you.
I can't do much for you, but I have people that do the monthly or the seasonal newsletter. Our documentation, we can get that out there with the other Star Parties. And I think Eastern Iowa Star Party would be a great opportunity for you because you got the facility, you got a really nice facility. And we can't do it like that with PAC. We just don't do it. We don't have a facility suitable for Star Party. We would have to go somewhere and set it up, but you don't have to do that. You've already got it. Well, that's the hard part. Anyway, what else can I show you here? There's a store, you can buy stuff. There's booklets for exploring, imaging, all this kind of stuff. AL membership, if you want to really find out the costs on that, there's everything's out there. If you want to join AL, let me know. And I'll put you in touch with the right person to do it. And then you won't.
The right person to join.
Yeah.
You're not the right person?
I'm not the guy that does the mechanics of it.
Okay.
So you talked about the money part of it. You said it cost $10 for a club to join.
Yeah.
So that's for the QCAS, just the organization. To be a member, it's $10 a year.
I think that's right.
Okay, and then in addition to that, for each member you have, there's a cost.
Yeah, $6.
$6. So if we had 40 members.
Yeah.
It would be $10 plus 40 times 6 is what we think the number.
Yeah, it'd be around
$250.
Yeah, $250 roughly.
Except they now have made some provisions for people like you and I that are already members of other astronomy clubs that are members of the Astronomical League. So the QCAS wouldn't necessarily have to pay $6 for me.
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct, that's correct.
Okay.
And then do you normally collect that from the clubs or do you do that from the individual members?
No, it comes through your club, so when you would probably have to revise your membership.
So we have to
dues.
roll it into the dues, so
Yeah, you roll it into your dues. And so everybody that opts to be a member of the AL will be charged $6 more, and then that would go into your treasury, but then once a year, you're gonna submit a check to the Astronomical League to pay for their membership.
Yeah, so the way I would say it is, if our club said, we have enough money that we can afford to pay this roughly $250, there'd be no impact on the individual members. Now, if the club said, well, we can do this, but we'd like to maintain our treasury, so we're gonna need to charge a few extra dollars in dues. You know, that's a decision that would need to be made, but it's just, the club's gonna have to pay that amount.
And I would not recommend you do it unless you're serious about it, because it is a cost.
And then, so you guys collect all this cash. And then, does that go to all the, like, you guys are contributing to like the scholarship, you know,
Yeah.
programs, all the award pins, all of the
Scholarships, awards,
hosting and conventions.
the magazine that you get, hosting conventions, you know, conventions a lot of times lose money.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And so we
Except for the
got,
vendors. The vendors are eating
the
conventions.
vendors make money. But they'll donate stuff, door prizes and stuff like that, so. I would say in general, I'm gonna make a statement that's probably false, but. I would say Popular Astronomy Club has probably more than broke even on our membership to the AL, because like I said, we've got a couple of.
I'm not necessarily looking
Yeah.
to see that it's a value proposition.
It's gonna be tough to prove.
What's under the hood at the AL that they're using the money?
There's a lot of stuff, and you can see all the stuff, and they have at least 1 or 2 employees now. It's gotten so big, you know, 25,000 members, just keeping track of all the dues and the accounting and all that. I know they have 1 staff member. That's a guy I would be in contact with for membership. That's what he does, it's because it's a big job.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 sides of it, right? There's, you know, what we get out of it, but then there's also what we contribute to, right?
Yeah, if you're serious about it, you know, I think it could be a big help to your organization, and if you want to publicize your Eastern Iowa Star Party, and you know, you might be surprised, you might get a few additional people come in from other clubs, because that's one of the main things we do, is try to communicate with our newsletters and stuff.
Well, I think that's the thing, we like to up the membership to people.
Yeah, it sounds like a great outreach.
And we are literally sitting in the college right now. I mean, the scholarship is, I think, a big selling point to increase membership there also.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I would think Ambrose would be very interested in supporting, you know, the scholarship aspect of it. You got captive students here too. You could give them extra credit for joining the club or something. I don't know. Or you could just make it be an assignment. Anyway, like I say, there's a website for the Astronomical League. I would urge you just go out there and stumble through it, take a look at it. Then we have a website here for the North Central region. You can go look at that. Here's all the members. Here's the Minnesota Astronomical Society. There's the president, you know, the contact information. Popular Astronomy Club's out here somewhere, right there. Publications, now here's our quarterly newsletter. There's the latest one. Called Northern Lights. There's quite a few pages here.
Right, you gotta write a message for every one of these?
Yeah, I have to write an introduction. Never mind these. It's pretty easy. I just tell the newsletter editor, I send him stuff and then he puts it together in a rough draft and he sends it to me and then I look at what he has and then I just kind of write about it, you know? So it's not that hard, but yeah, I have to write. Here was our meeting that we had. Our convention up in Green Bay. They have a very interesting telescope in their observatory. There's award winners this year. Cedar Amateurs won the newsletter editor award for the region. Let's see. There was our group shot, a couple of different group shots. We need to get more young people. That's
So they keep telling us.
Mhm.
and that's one of my goals is try to get more young people into it. And they're trying hard to do that, but it's kind of tough. Because young people don't have the exposure like we have.
When they don't have the financial resources either.
Yeah, but you know, in my case, when I was growing up, all I had to do was open the door and go outside and it's dark. And, you know, I had access to a really cheap telescope. I didn't know it better. I thought it was great. I don't think kids have an opportunity much anymore. But anyway. Food you like to eat? Always have a nice banquet. Anyway.
Anybody else have any questions?
Let me know, think about it, deliberate on it.
Yeah.
If you want to do something, let me know, I'll get the ball rolling for you.
We'll let you know.
Well, I think, as I recall, the problem that we had, because we were a member at one time. And then it was kind of decided that there were no benefits for us at the time. Because nobody was doing it.
Right.
And, you know, you can have all the awards you want, but if nobody's doing anything, it doesn't matter. And I think that's one reason why we dropped out, because nobody was paying any attention to that. And you know, the costs involved and the costs for each member, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's the reason why we dropped out. Because I mean, people weren't doing anything, you know, with the awards or, you know, doing that much of the work, et cetera, et cetera.
And I think Steve Van Hefty may have been the treasurer at the time, but I think there was also a strong financial component to it.
Yeah.
That we were down to maybe 20 members and we had an observatory and we were having to pay $40 a month for a utility bill.
Yeah.
Because we had a fixed amount, even though we used a very low amount. And we looked at it and said, my gosh, you know, we're spending whatever it was, $600-800 a year of dues. And at the time, maybe dues were $15 a year per person. Almost all of our dues were going towards paying for that utility bill at Sherman Park. And we just said, we really need that $5 a year per member. From the that we were paying the Astronomical League, and what benefits are we getting out of it? And decided we probably should quit. I don't remember if Steve's there, if that's kind of the way you remember it, Steve.
Think,
Yeah, it's just that, I mean, the math is so easy, is that we had 20 members and at $20 dues. So our gross income was $400. And then we had a $15 a month utility bill that was not quite $200. And then you got to pay the PO box, and it gets down to the point we only had $100 left over, and which was just about how much the Astronomical League cost us. So here, and we're running our own observatory that's in need of repair, could use of $100. So we dropped out of the league. Well, no, I should say that. So on a financial side, it was the Astronomical League was taking all of our money. Okay. So then we have $0. And then, like you say, we were getting no benefit out of it. Nobody was doing the observing programs. Nobody wanted to be the Alcor. Let's see. Nobody went to these conventions. And this is back when we had, Wayne Jens and Bob Custer, and we had all kinds of other people, the guy that was working from the post office. And these are the comfortably retired people that you would think that they would have the time and the knowledge and the interest to go to these things and do these things. And the answer was no. So we only had $100. The Astronomical League was taking our $100. We had nothing left over to repair our observatory or to do anything else. And on the other hand, nobody was attending any of these events or the awards or what have you, or the observing program. So it was a very easy decision to make, is we're out.
Although I would say it's not right to say nobody. There maybe not enough people, because here you see, there were a number of people in the club that did participate and receive observing program awards. I know I went to at least a couple of the conventions, so we did participate some.
We, right now, we do have, some very, very good astrophotographers.
Yeah.
Who, I don't know if they're winning the award, but they probably should. But, who knows, they might even get published. I mean, we've got some darn good people out there doing that.
You're gonna laugh at me, but I've won imaging awards.
You must really be hard up.
What I'm trying to tell you is there's a lot of people that could qualify for awards, but they don't apply.
I mean, and I'm looking at this, and I see 1986, 97, 99, and 2000.
2000 was the latest one that.
When did we drop out?
Probably about,
it was after I joined, so must have been.
I don't know, 2000, 2005, probably somewhere there, we probably dropped out.
And so this is before Ambrose came picture to them? Is that what I'm guessing?
Or certainly before we moved to making, oh,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah, way before that.
So I just wanted to make a comment, is that I don't think anybody's got anything against has anything against the league. It's just that I think that, like with our club here, the Astronomical Society, is that we just don't have enough members. And another thing that I think that came up was that because the Popular Astronomy Club is such a bigger club, they've been around for a long time. I think, aren't you guys one of the charter members of the?
Yes.
Yeah, see, and it goes on and on and on, is that you guys are kind of grandfathered in. You're the larger club, and the Quad Cities is represented, by the Popular Astronomy Club to the Astronomical League, so it's just, we're the smaller club, we're the newer club. We don't run our club as organized as maybe we should. And it's just, and it's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles. Is like we say, we couldn't find a leg to stand on to keep on paying. And I think the answer is that if we only had 20 more members, and then that would pay for it.
So that's about your surrounding cost. About 120 awards we. What? That's on the screen. It's 113.
Show offs.
And you can see we have, you shouldn't see these here, these guys here are gonna get awards, they haven't received them yet.
Yesterday, man.
So, but again, you've got to, you gotta participate, you're not gonna get anything if you don't participate. But if you do participate, you can win, even I have won imaging awards, and my imaging is primitive compared to a lot of them that really know what they're doing. But it's because there was no competition in the event that I entered into, so I won automatically by default. And it's the same thing with library telescopes. If you apply for a library telescope, nobody else applies, you've got it. And the scholarships are like that too. If you apply and nobody else does, you win. Sometimes nobody applies. The money's out there. So anyway, like I say, if you see no benefit to it, I don't want to twist your arm. It's a self-improvement thing. And you know, if you want to take advantage of it, you can, come through PAC and join our club and come at it that way. But then you're going to pay dues and 2 clubs, which is probably not very smart either.
Okay, thanks, Al.
Yeah.
Thank you for this. Thank you very much. All right.
Can I ask?
Real quick, anyone have any member photos to share?
Byron, you have some, don't you?
Byron does. He's always got some.
Okay, I'll wake up here. Let's see. I'll share my screen here. Photos, that is. Let's see. This is one I took out at Menke. It was the same night they were out there looking at the meteors. This is the Pac-Man NGC 281. That's 1 hour of exposures.
Nice. Is that using a one-shot color camera?
That's that, yeah. ZWASI or ASI 2600 MC Duo. And the Skywatcher Quattro 200p 8-inch Newtonian.
Oh, very nice.
Go back. I did another I actually did the Andromeda again with the Takahashi with no filter this time. This was out at Menke also. This was an hour's worth of photo or exposures.
You can see the warping of the disc in this one.
Yeah.
So there's, you've got the 3 there, and there's also, I can't remember what that nebula is. There's an NGC nebula that's visible right there on the top right. It's the brighter one by itself, kind of. I can't remember what that number is, but that showed up really well. I did the Dark Shark again. Like I said, I used no filters on these this time just to see what it would do. Well, my screen's not going to cooperate here.
Hey, Troy, I got a question for you.
Yeah,
on this galaxy, say like this galaxy, is there for the nebula and stuff that's in a different galaxy than ours, do they have any labeling or identification of these items that you've captured in your,
they do.
they do?
They do. But I say you can, even some of the astrobin photos, you can tap on them and it completely lists everything in that picture.
Oh, okay. So they have,
That's the
there's a lot of information that we don't know about that somebody's already got listed.
right. Well, I don't know if they're doing some type of plate solving with their photos, but I mean, it's not every photo, but some of them astrobin. I mean, you could punch up M31 astrobin and start looking at them, but when you look at them, touch that screen where that picture is, and some of them will have it all broke down. Another screen will pop up with that photo, and it'll list everything that's in there.
Okay, what is Astrobin?
Astrobin is a site for people to post their astronomy photographs.
Okay.
So you would just punch in M31 Astrobin and search it, and it would come up with a bunch of pictures in Astrobin of the Andromeda Galaxy, or any, pretty much any object you want.
Okay, thank you.
But we're,
This
let's
is
see if it gave them one, did you see
this
that?
is an NGC down here, I think, but I can't. Let's see, looks like an M, like M32. Oh, yeah, that's M32.
And
Right.
can I ask you what telescope you was using for this?
That was the Takahashi Baby Q. It's FSQ 85 EDX.
Maybe the rest of this is very.
Oh, it's not very big.
No,
Okay.
it's a focal ratio f5.3 wide field.
Okay.
No, this is still Arian. I don't know if that's got all this information.
Yeah, those were excellent videos or pictures of your.
All right,
Good.
I couldn't get that thing to close out. I got the dark shark too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. How many hours was this one?
This was probably, I think it was about 3 or 4.
Wow.
Yeah, that's excellent. Where did you, what was the location of that one? I mean, were
I mean,
you?
where's it at?
this house?
It's in Cetus or Cephas, I think it is.
Yeah, but I mean, where did you take the photo? How
Oh,
dark were
Menke.
the skies?
Out at Menke.
That was in Menke.
Yeah.
And let's see. This is not real high in the sky either, is it?
No, not at the time I took it.
You must know how to process those images.
What's the number of that, Byron?
LDN 1235.
At Nebraska, where your dark skies.
LDN
1235.
Did you use your filter on this one or not?
I did not use the filter on
Oh,
it.
yeah. Right there.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, it is.
So you took that photo in the winter or the spring?
No, I took it
Yeah.
maybe
And then, okay, so.
A week or two ago, didn't you?
July, I think I was.
In Cepheus?
No, let's see, there's,
I'm thinking so, I'm looking at it different.
let's see.
It's not too far from the Iris Nebula.
Okay. Hey, I was thinking of a different object, but,
That's kind of in the north right now, northeast.
yeah, at least it gets up in the up high overhead.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty good object to look at our star party.
Yeah.
What's this one?
Now, this is the Helix.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yes.
Now, this is with the refractor. I want to try it with the Newtonian. You can almost start to see the eyebrow on this starting to show up on the top, but it's just very faint I want to see if that Newtonian will pull in some more, detail out of that. But I had to use the filter on this because I'm shooting in, to the south there at Menke. I was using that Neb Z2.
And you have a picture of the iris you took recently too?
I do, if I can get my screen to cooperate here. I can't get it to back out. Oh, there we go. And this one also used no filter. This is the same, I think the same night I took the dark shark.
Very nice.
I like the color contrast.
I think next time I go out, maybe at the star party, I'm gonna take the max top out and I want to do planetary nebula, but I want to shoot this iris and the maxitop at f15 to see, you pretty much fill up that f15. I just want the iris itself and see what it'll do. See what kind of detail I can pull out of that object.
What's the F ratio of your reflector, Byron?
f4.
That's an 8-inch, right?
Correct.
Are all these images you're just showing us now, are they taken with that ASI 2600 MC?
Every one of them, yeah. It's the only camera I have.
I like that camera too. I never have gotten a guide scope to work, or the guide camera to work.
Hold on, we need to start the whole thing.
Anyway, all right.
Here's the Cave Nebula. Now this one's a little overcooked, but you can see the detail in the nebula pretty well. I probably could have gotten by with 5-minute exposures instead of 6. I was kind of pushing the boundaries on that camera.
Pretty nice though.
If I can get this thing to show me another picture. I got several. Oh, here we go. So what else have I shot? Oh, here is the bubble.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Byron, would you say this is overcooked?
Not, I wouldn't say this one's overcooked. The cave was.
I need to find overcooked. Personal opinion. It looks pretty good to me.
I may have one more if I can. I just don't. Okay, I don't know why I'm not getting that thing on the first touch to work on this touch screen.
The other photo winners.
Well, I think Byron's gonna win this contest.
Every month. Every quarter.
See, Byron would always win, but the only way I'd win is if he wasn't there.
What's this one, Byron?
Yeah, this is the veil.
Now,
Kind of eerie looking on the right side. It looks like a skull of something on the top there, like a skull of a dead deer or something. And the eye sockets and the nose. But yeah, it looks more like a creature to me. But yeah, this is the witch's broom, the east and the west, and the other part of it. I can't remember the name of it. Oh, wait a minute.
well, yeah, and some people refer to what you're talking about as Pickering's triangle.
That's it. That's it. Let's see. Oh, I did take sharpless. 86, and that star cluster, I think it's 6823 is the name of it, or the not the name of it, but the new general catalog associated number with it.
I can see some pillars in the lower center.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
New stars are forming at the tips of those.
That's the star forming region.
Yep.
Well, they're all pretty good pictures.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, and I did. Oh, the trifid too. I took out this one out at Menke.
Nice.
I was using the filter, so I kind of lost the blue with that filter. This is another one I would. I had the Newtonian on this one, but I would like to take it without a filter. Let's see, and here I'll show you something else that I'm doing right now. It's kind of interesting. That's my C-Gym too. So I'm in the process of hyper tuning it.
Yeah, it's wondered with the hypertune, everybody talks about sanding down those brass cups. I wonder why nobody takes those to a machine shop and just have them take, 10 thou off it or something instead of going through the trouble of doing it by hand.
Well, I don't think you need to go that far. I mean, this is just more of a smoothing and polishing of the internal components. You don't need to machine shop it. I mean, I'll go 600, 800, 1,000, and 1,200. And that'll do enough. I mean, you don't want to take too much off of it because then you're bearing.
That's what I'm saying. I get what you're saying, and you can totally do that by hand, but that probably take you what, like 2-3 hours?
No, you don't do it that much. Not that much at all. I mean, unless you get a bad one. If you get a bad one that was machined really poorly, then it's unlucky you then yeah, you may want to consider having somebody do that. But I wouldn't trust anybody with it. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't, because they screw it up. You're stuck. You're better off sitting there and sanding it, and then putting the parts back in order, and making sure you're not overdoing it yourself. Because once you overdo it, you're screwed. You're not gonna. It's never going to fit right again. So you pretty much want to do this by hand. And not not overdo what you're trying to accomplish by the whole idea here is to loosen this thing up where it moves like silk, out of the stiffness that when you first get it from being mass produced. And it doesn't take a lot. It's a lot of it has to do with the polishing, the repacking with a better grease, and adjusting your tolerances for your shimming and your worm gear. There's a push-pull system on those. So when you get it all put together, you just adjust everything to where the thing just moves smoothly, but you don't have any backlash or play in it. But yeah, you take it to a machine shop and tell them to take something off, and you get it back, you can't put it back on.
Sure. I
don't know if I have anything else.
I mean, then you'd be taking it off everywhere, right?
What's that?
For some of that brass stuff. Ultrasonic cleaner, take it off.
Well, I don't think you're trying to get rid of any corrosion or anything per se. They're just not. I mean, Celestron's not a fantastic machine set up for their manufacturing. So you get some drag in there. Like you said, a lot of it's the grease too. I mean, I took the declination access apart on the one that you had because I couldn't get it to balance because it was too sticky and it was just gobs of heavy grease in there. And just cleaning that out made it a lot more serviceable.
Well, I'll tell you on the CGM ones, have got terrible grease in them. It's very thick. It's gelatinous.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, there's nothing, smooth. I mean, you take it out, it comes out in chunks. The grease in the CGM 2 I noticed is a different type of grease, but I'm still going to remove it and put the lithium that I put in the CGM 1. The CGM 1 actually performs better than the CGM 2 now because it just moves effortlessly. There's no stiffness to it anymore. And that's the whole idea of taking the thing apart, sanding everything, polishing everything. I did put ceramic skateboard bearings in the worm gears, but I kept the other larger bearings and, like I say, completely degreased and packed with lithium super lube. And boy, I think it's buttery smooth now, just incredibly smooth. And that's what the CGM 2 will be like when I get done with it here in a few days.
Is that for just general use or photographic that makes it smoother, or what's the deal on that?
The CGM 1 and 2 are both my photographic workhorses.
Okay.
They're go-tos with a huge database of objects in them. Precision Go-To is also in that software. They're excellent. They got a guide port. They guide excellent. And that, like I say, every photograph I produced has been from either that CGM 1 or CGM 2.
We'll look
Yep.
forward to hearing how it goes after you put it back together, I think.
Yep.
No, Byron, he'll get it back together.
Oh, yeah, what are you ready done?
Oh, what's this little piece?
So Matt's not here, it's president's reports the next.
Fortunately, he emailed it to me for the last board meeting, so real quick. In the general fund, $2,783.35. 35. Savings, $5, requirement of the bank. Observatory fund, $5,140.49. Events fund, $500.09. For a grand total of $8,428.93. Discussion? Do we have a motion to approve? Cecil moves. Just second. Chris seconds. All in favor of approving the treasurer's report?
Aye.
Stands approved. And now, we got about 15 minutes left. 2025 board nominations. According to the bylaws, we have the election during the November banquet, so we like to have any nominations in our hands by the end of October. We're also looking for anyone who'd like to volunteer as a nominating committee to gather nominations and send them to the board. One of the advantages of being on the nominating committee, to be on the nominating committee, you cannot be running for a board position. So I consider that an advantage or a disadvantage depending on your personal preference. Anyone have any interest in being on a nominating committee? All you have to do is you're the people who receive nominations for board positions and gather them up for the board. That's all you need to do. If you are interested, please email the board. The board. As for the board positions themselves, so Ashley is willing to stand in for secretary again for next year. And Matt is willing to stand in as treasurer again for next year. That leaves us needing nominations for president and vice president. I will say this, that whoever is willing to run for president, I'm willing to stay on the board as vice president in order to ease your transition into the position of president. And again, if you're interested, please contact any one of the board members, one of the current board members. Chris, how's the website coming along?
Been too nice to work on.
Yeah, all I've been doing for the last month is working on this new imaging telescope setup, so. I've still got pieces strewn all over my dining room here, I haven't done anything. Get back to me in December when it gets too cold to go outside.
John, you did update the website with some information though, right?
The original web URL.
No, it's just something I threw together with Dreamweaver. It's very basic. If you go to QCAS.org, it just shows the events, and it's got Dr. Mitchell's email address on there for a contact. And I was playing around with some map stuff this week. If you go to that site, you can see that. I can probably show it to you here. Hang on a second.
Well, I think anything like that is a plus, so that if somebody wants to go to the website, at least they can see something.
And have some contact information.
Let's see. Yeah, it's very basic. All it is welcome to QCastro.org, home of Quad City Astronomical Society, becoming events. I added 2 map things. If you zoom in, it shows where we're at. And I have it in 2 different formats. And I found another cool site that a button to link to. It's a weather site that's got all sorts of really cool maps. And it's got all, just tons and tons on there. Weather radar.
Windy.com.
Yeah.
What do they call that, the model that they use to do astrospheric? They got that, they probably don't have that tapped in here, because this is probably normie maps, right?
Yeah, who knows? I haven't gone through them all. Surface ozone.
Yeah, pretty slim website about it.
Does it do wildfire smoke?
Yeah, it does. Fire danger. Drought. Yeah, Cape Index, whatever that is. Solar power, whatever that is.
this all done by satellite or what?
Or what?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of, I'm sure it's both.
Wind gusts.
You're not gonna get wind off a satellite, and they got wind outlets, so they gotta be tied into some weather stations.
Pretty sure.
Pretty sophisticated.
A lot of data.
I think you can even put it in motion here. Not sure what that's doing, but
It's still.
Yeah, it's moving.
oh yeah.
You're zoomed out so far, things aren't moving.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
Looks like we should have an observing session tonight.
Like we were talking before, we just need to hold these things down in the observatory.
We tried that for a while.
Satellite.
Be able to actually control the weather.
Well, yeah. Great idea, China.
Astronomical League, that's a nice program. Good to do.
It's actually showing lightning strikes out there too.
Nice.
Unbelievable wall, I guess. Unbelievably big wall.
It's real-time satellite. You can see the shadow of the clouds as the sun sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, you can link to it from QCAS.org or just go to windy.com.
Not bad.
Sharing.
So in the few minutes we have remaining, is there any other topic that anyone needs to bring up tonight?
Yeah, I've got a couple things. So Robert, that first email I sent you,
Yes.
so that one has the photograph of Cecil's finder in operation, in progress. Should have been the first one I sent you.
One moment. All right up.
Well, while Robert's looking at that, so Cecil's
Here.
finder scope hit the ground there, and so you know what? It kind of looks kind of neat, and it actually operates pretty good. So we put a 2-inch focuser on it, and then I just this is just concrete tubes, and this is just kind of mocked up or just kind of test fitting all the parts and trying to get it all painted up now, and it works really well. So it'll be a 5-inch f3.6 finder scope. So, and so Howard and I were up there, and then the finder scope hit the ground, but the lens didn't crack or anything. So I kind of took it upon myself to go ahead and see if I can't rebuild the scope. So I think the only part we're going to end up using this is just the lens, but I'm trying to make it in such a way that it won't fall. So that's that. And then we're trying to put some type of plan together on the 30-inch scope that there are some repairs that telescope needs. And I also have a lot of parts for the digital setting circles, so we can get the circles on it. And unfortunately, I think that what we should do is that to take the telescope apart and to get it in the workshop and get a lot of the repairs needed on the base. And so I think we'll do that after the first, we'll try to do that in between the 2 star parties. So we'll let the first star party go. And then if John can help me and I can get the what they call it, the rocker box and the ground board. So we can get the 30-inch repaired and then get the finder on it and then get the digital circles on it. And that should help it out a lot. And then just one final note here is that on the Astronomical League, so it sounded like I was, very, very against it. I'm not against it. I just thinking that, turning back the pages 10 years ago is that it just didn't fit, the club at that time. And now I'm going to sound like a total hypocrite, but I'm currently working on like 4 or 5 of their programs, see, so, so, I think I got, all 3 double star programs, and then there's the Messier program. The programs take a long time. It's nothing that you can do. I think if you're a comfortably retired person, you probably could do that in like one of their programs in a summer. Okay, but I think a lot of those programs got a lot of mileage during the COVID years, and that's kind of where I'm at. So I got a lot of them going on. So that's just my comment there, and that's all I want to say.
Okay, since we're getting a little short of time, Howard, John, are you guys planning to go out the observatory Thursday and work in the 12-inch dome?
Yes.
I put in another email ticket to St. Ambrose to ask them to clean the inside. I still haven't heard back yet.
I think that's one of the things that they plan to do, so if anybody else wants to join them, time that you're thinking about going yet?
What was that, Jim?
What time do you plan to go Thursday? What time do you plan to be there in case anybody else wants to join you?
Not sure, maybe around 12 noon or 1.
Okay, maybe they should contact either you or John if they want to join you.
Okay. So what I'm only gonna do first thing I'm gonna do is plug the holes in the baseboard. That's the main reason I'm going out. And then remove that Celestron and put it over in the 20-inch roll-off roof. Those are the 2 main items.
Did you say you were gonna bring some either mask or protective equipment for yourself to be able to clean in the mouse?
Well, that's for later. Right now, the only thing I'm gonna do is plug the holes and that Celestron has mice nest in it. I gotta get that out of there before they even clean it. So somehow we'll just see what it looks like after this Thursday.
All right. So.
No.
All right. Going on 9 o'clock now. Anything else urgent? Our next board meeting is September 4th. Our next general meeting is September 16th. Until then, does anyone want to make a motion to adjourn? Cecil moves to adjourn. Jim seconds. All's in favor, say aye. All's opposed, who cares? All right. Good meeting, everyone. And Al, thank you again for the presentation.
Yep, people left pretty fast, didn't they, John?
The first Howard told me he didn't want to clean the observatory.
Well, that's not, he still doesn't want to clean, I mean.
Then he told me he would as long as somebody helped him, and he told me that he and John were going Thursday to clean. And now he says, well, we're not gonna clean. We're just gonna plug the holes.
Yeah, those
We just need
holes,
hoses, right?
the holes have to be plugged before you can
Take the
clean.
telescope out of there, just hose that shit out, and sluice it out the door.
Yeah, but they're not gonna take the. One telescope, probably. They're only taking
There's-
extra telescope.
Oh,
There's
there's,
a portable
well,
telescope.
I didn't realize that.
Well,
I thought he was, I think, an actual observatory telescope. I was like, well, that's a whole move, but okay.
okay, I was,
He's gonna clean that up.
Hey,
That's the
Jim?
next step after the observatory's cleaned up.
I thought I was in charge of doing this.
In regards to
Come on,
that, so
guys.
I've never been to either of those two star parties, I know of them. The one in. Springfield.
No, you're still
or the
on, Mark.
one, you know, on the other side of Des Moines, I haven't been to those. And primarily because, you know, they were at the same time when, you know, Eastern Iowa,
Yeah.
Okie Tech. Used to be Astro Fest was in conflict, and then Prairie Skies, so it's just because the fall's a nice time to observe, so there's a lot of.
I got a, can I ask
So
a
you were just
question?
using that as an example of,
Yeah,
you could use some,
okay, I'm the,
John, Howard, was there something else you wanted?
Yeah, I want, am I in charge of doing this, or we're just gonna let somebody else do it? Because it sounds like other people have ideas, and I'm the one who's doing it.
doing what? Entering it, the, AL.
I didn't. do that.
Jim, yeah, here, and let me get you closer
It's
to,
like, shoot, $250? Let me reach into my wallet here.
okay, Howard, what was your question again?
My problem is people have all these ideas, and I'm the one that's supposed to be in charge of doing this. I'm gonna go and wash the whole thing out with a hose.
I can bring my pressure sprayer down there like I did with the 20-inch dome or roll off and pressure spray it.
Well, I don't know how that, that'd be a mess.
Howard, I'm not saying what you're supposed to do. I'm saying if it were up to me, I would go through there with a hose.
Who's talking? I don't even know who's talking.
That's Byron.
That's Chris.
That's Chris.
Chris?
You
Yeah,
didn't
Byron
know,
was on the.
you didn't know what was all in there.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you what,
you can see the inside of that building, but if I was.
I'll tell you what I can do. I can plug the holes and somebody else can take over there.
That's not what.
No, I'm not saying what you should do or what you ought to do or what you need to do. I'm saying that if somebody said, Chris, you gotta do it, that's what I would do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just throwing shit in the air. I don't know
Well-
what needs to be done, Howard. I've only seen the inside of that building once when they gave me a tour almost a year ago when I joined.
I was the one volunteering to do this thing. I have a plan how to do it.
Okay, well, I'm
That's
not
what
gonna
I'm
interrupt
saying.
you.
I know, but I can't just take off on a tangent if somebody else can do it.
I mean, I'd love to help, but I can't get off work at noon to 1.
Well, we didn't ask, right now to plug these holes, I didn't ask for any other help.
I was trying to.
Well, okay.
You guys,
That's a different time.
you guys, you come over here. I think I almost had to talk to it.
I'm gonna have to shut this down soon and
Okay.
lock up here. So look, Howard, Jim, Chris, you want to continue this by email? I mean, go right ahead.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna go out Thursday and do what I'm gonna do. So I can tell you.
Yeah, just
Yeah, I think we're done.
okay. We'll be in touch. I think it's all right.